You are listening to PastThink.com audiobook. Please like and subscribe, thank you. Chapter 95. By ignoring Wang Ping's advice, Ma Su loses Jieting. Just playing a lute, Kong Ming defeats Sima Yi. Sima Yi and Zhang He take command of the Wei troops. They establish positions directed by Sima Yi to counter the anticipated Shu invasion heading towards Chang'an. The death of Meng Da is reported to a shocked and angry Kong Ming. Knowing the odds have now changed, he details a defense force to Jieting to hold it against an attack by Sima Yi. Ma Su volunteers to go, even though his knowledge is mostly from books on war, not actual war itself. Kong Ming agrees but sends Wang Ping to oversee the actions of Ma Su. Meanwhile, other troops are dispatched to guard key passes and to prepare backup in case of disaster at Jieting. Then Kong Ming moves his main force, with Jiang Wei in charge of the vanguard. Having reached Jieting, Ma Su arrogantly decides, against the sage advice of Wang Ping, to take up a position on a hill, which he feels gives a good advantage point to oversee the main road down which the enemy will come. Wang Ping strongly advises defending the road itself. But Ma Su, citing copiously from Sun Zi's Art of War, for this in truth is all he knows about war, dismisses his protests, even calling the wise older warrior a woman. In the end, and with the enemy closing in, Ma Su allows Wang Ping to go with a small troop to protect the road while he stays on the hilltop. Meanwhile, Wang Ping sends details of the differing positions taken up by Ma Su and himself by express messenger to Kong Ming. Sima Yi moves forward to the attack, especially because he is encouraged when he is told that the inexperienced Ma Su is in charge. Soon Ma Su can see the vast army encamped below, completely cutting him off. Wang Ping tries to come to his rescue, but is forced back. On the hill, there is no water, and soon the troops are desperate with thirst. Ma Su's army begins to disintegrate as men desert. In despair, Ma Su has no option left, but to lead his men off the hill, and try to battle their way through to freedom. But they are pursued by Zhang He, who nearly overwhelms them, until a rescue force led by Wei Yan comes to their rescue. Wei Yan himself is drawn into an ambush, and is only rescued at the last moment by Wang Ping, but at the cost of their men suffering terrible losses. And Sima Yi captures the city. Retreating to Lailu, they meet up with Gao Xiang, who has ridden out to assist the army after learning of the fall of Jieting. Together they decide to attack the Wei camp that night in order to retake Jieting. It turns into a disaster, because the Shu men arrive to find the town apparently empty, only to then be taken by surprise when they enter. Retreating to Lailu, they discover that Guanzhong and Chaozhen, in their absence, and in order to thwart the power of their commander, Sima Yi, are also advancing on the town. A terrible battle ensues in front of the town, and the Shu army suffer badly. So Wang Ping, Wei Yan and Ma Su flee towards the Yangping Pass, fearing that this too may fall into enemy hands. However, when Guanzhong and Chaozhen reach the town gates, they see that Sima Yi has already taken the town. From there he directs the next stage of his plan, laying ambushes and attacks to confront Kong Ming's men. Meanwhile, Kong Ming has received Wang Ping's map and is in despair at the stupidity of Ma Su. Then news comes of the fall of Jieting and Lailu. He hastily advances to Xiqing, where the army supplies are stored. With just 5,000 men, he is suddenly informed that the Wei army of 150,000 are advancing on the city, led by Sima Yi. He immediately orders that all signs of occupation, such as banners, be removed, and that everyone is to be hidden out of sight, and not to make a sound. Then, wearing his customary Taoist robes, and accompanied by just 2 boys, he sits down on the city wall, and plays a lute, as if nothing were troubling him. When Sima Yi rides up to see what on earth is going on, he is immediately concerned that such a relaxed attitude betokens some kind of cunning ambush. Even the gates of the city are open. Convinced that this is a trick, Sima Yi orders his vast army to turn aside, and soon they are out of sight. A poet has written, "A lute just 3 feet long defeats a vast army." For here Kong Ming forced a retreat from Xiqing. 150,000 turned aside. And to this day people remember this with awe. Of course, what Kong Ming has also planned is a series of ambushes on the retreating Wei army. Having roundly defeated them, Kong Ming gives orders for the Shu army to begin its own withdrawal back to Guanzhong. When Sima Yi finds out how he has been tricked time and time again by Kong Ming, he has to admit he has met his match. So he returns to the emperor at Chang'an and asks permission for a much larger army to destroy the Shu army at Guanzhong. An official steps forward and claims that he can defeat not only Shu but also Wu. So who is this? Let's find out.